Good morning. This is Jody with thejoylovebus.com. It's about the sixth time I've tried to start this video. Dogs barking, noise going on, can't get my thoughts together. So I'm going to sit here and I'm not going to stop it, and we're going to go with it because something's coming. I can feel it. An eclipse is coming. It's Eclipse Day. Apparently, to those of you who watch television and are plugged into media more than I am, it's been hyped to death all over the place. Now, I know this because a dear friend of mine who's very just, even keel, doesn't get involved in stuff, even she's been posting eclipse stuff like all the time. So people ask me, if you don't watch TV, how do you know what's going on? Well, I didn't say I lived in a cave. I said I don't watch TV. And I'm very connected to a lot of different people online. And I can tell when people are acting different, or, people who aren't usually involved in politics or news or celebrity or football games. When those people start talking about it, then I know there's something going on. And that's when I start paying attention. So that's how I live with no television. Boy, it was hard to break that habit, going to Drudge Report every single day and taking in all that. Oh my God, what's going on in the world? Wow, it's funny. So, what shall we talk about today? Lots of topics that I haven't addressed yet that I've wanted to. Body image keeps coming up. I feel like I'm supposed to talk about body image. I have a lot of friends kind of going through some issues right now with their identifying with themselves, their meat suit, how that fits, how that works. We are spiritual beings living in a physical body. And the farther you get along on any spiritual path, you start to figure that out. When I really started to really sit with that idea, it was weird in the beginning. Like, what do you mean I'm wearing a meat suit? But wow. The farther you get on that journey, the more just sitting with your heart and feeling it, and expansion and evolving, and words like ascension. All it is getting conscious, learning about the inside, what's going on between the heart and the head all the time that has nothing to do with this skin we're wearing, And the more you align with your inner self, your pure energy self, the more you start to see the rest of the world as kind of a movie going on around you, and you're like watching it. It literally feels like you're sitting in a chair watching a movie around you. You go to the store and things look totally different. You start noticing the programming everywhere. It's bizarre. It's really bizarre. But the biggest piece of programming that cuts us so strong is the programming about who we are, who we're expected to be, who we're supposed to be in society. I wrote a blog post about remembering myself at different weights. It's really good. It's called I Remember. You should look for it on joylovebus.com. It's one of the best pieces I've ever written. Just saying. But this thing about body image keeps coming back to me through a lot of friends and different people. Everything from, people struggling with weight, people struggling with disability and how that affects their body image, people struggling with their gender identity and how that affects their body image. It all goes hand in hand. It's all the same. It's all a disconnect between your spiritual self and the meat suit you're living in. Now, on my journey lately, one of the biggest things that I was able to do, and I'm still not exactly sure how I did this, but I finally stopped that awful, nonstop, hate myself soundtrack in my head that I carried with me for 47 years. And I'm noticing as I get farther along my spiritual journey, and I hate to call it a spiritual journey because it's not, that implies religion, God, all that stuff. And it is that, but it isn't that. What it really is tuning into pure Jody, pure me on the inside, just the energy of who I really am. But I'm trapped in this body and I'm trapped in this world that is programmed since birth. This is how it's supposed to be, no other way. And if you do anything except exactly this, you're the freak. And what I've learned is, well, then we're all freaks, because none of us fit in a box. None of us fit in a container. And every single problem we have in here and in here comes from trying to stay in the programming. Wow, that's really deep. I guess I'm good sometimes. I don't know where this stuff comes from. So, but it's true, don't you think? Every problem you've ever had, think about anything you're upset about. You're upset because your circumstances, whatever they are, money, body, living situation, your job, your relationship, the only reason you're upset is because it's not happening the way you have been programmed to believe it is supposed to happen. Wow. Let me say that again. Everything you're upset about is about your circumstances, right? So if you're upset because somebody died, because you're losing your house, because you don't have money to pay bills, because you lost a relationship, or you can't find a relationship, or you're heavier than you think you need to be, you're upset about those circumstances, right? Because you are programmed that there is only a small range of how those circumstances are supposed to be, and anything outside that range is not normal, is not okay, is not what it's supposed to be. Therefore, I must be very upset and I must fight with it until it gets back into those parameters. Well, I got a question for you. Who made this? Who decided this? What if a beautiful relationship is one where you argue and argue and argue and argue until you solve the problem and get to a deeper level with each other? Speaking from personal experience, I have that right now. We argue a lot, but we stay in it until we're done and we find out what the real issue is, and we both grow tremendously from it. And then we don't argue again for a long time. What if we're so programmed to have the perfect home that we're struggling so hard to afford it, to keep it clean? What if the perfect home doesn't exist? What if it's all in here that's been programmed and there is no perfect home? Wouldn't that change things? We're upset because we think, well, I have to be this or this. Nothing is black and white. Nothing is black and white. That just reminded me, I came up a while back with a tagline for myself. She's a splash of color in a black and white world. Because that's exactly what I am and what I'm trying to do. Everybody feels like they're stuck in this box, and every time, a bill is late, now I got an elbow out of the box. I got to hurry up and get it back in. Who gives a shit if a bill is late? Or, oh my God, I'm fighting with my boyfriend. It's not perfect. I got an elbow out of the box. I got to get it back in. It's a fight. You'll get over it. And if you don't, you'll get over that too. We really need to stop and think. I read a comment this morning on a post. It had nothing to do with anything I'm talking about right here, but it brought me to what I'm talking about right here. Somebody said something, and he said, oh, I've dreamed of time travel for 30 some years. Ever since I saw Back to the Future when I was a kid, I always dreamed of time travel. But that sounds really crazy to my logical mind. And it clicked. And I thought, no, it sounds really crazy to your programmed mind. And what we call logic is staying in the programming. There's no logic in the universe. Okay, scientists are going to be all, there's logic in the universe. There's an order of things. Okay, fine. There might be universal laws of physics and order of things. But quantum physics has proven that Newtonian physics is bunk. So get with the program. Update yourself. Think outside your box. Be willing to grow. Go back to yesterday's video about being a work in progress, okay? Anyway, So I'm thinking about his logical mind and how all that is his programming. We've been programmed to believe that time travel cannot exist. Now, instead of looking at it as, well, that's really crazy, time travel doesn't exist, let's look at this. In these parameters, time travel doesn't exist. Who made these parameters? Why do they want us so badly to believe that time travel doesn't exist? What if it did? Okay? We live in a universe where everything is possible. Everything. And if you believe in God and you believe in the power of a creator, then you believe that the faith of a mustard seed can move a mountain. Quantum physics has proved that something will change by simply being observed. That's quantum physics. Observe something and it changes. Schrodinger's cat. A cat's in a box. He could be alive. He could be dead. Once you open the box, he's either one or the other, because you're observing it and deciding what it is, and your intention and the energy you're putting into it makes it either alive or dead. So, going back to body image, boy, this had nothing to do with body image so far, but it does. I am transforming in my heart. And as I've done that, I let go of the story that I have to be thin, or I have to make my hair grow back that's thinning, or I have to not have facial hair, or I can't have oily skin. All these things I obsessed with for so many years. And when I stopped putting my attention on that and started putting my attention in here, the weight has been falling off. I am literally physically transforming before my own eyes. My boyfriend is like, he's witnessing it too, so I know I'm not imagining this. I know I see in my videos my face getting thinner. I'm not doing anything. I finally let go of it. And I'm learning to love myself in ways I didn't know was possible. I don't know if any of this makes sense. I can't wait to watch this back and find out if it makes any sense. Stop this. Stop this. Throw it away. Doesn't it? Oh, it feels better. When I do this, it feels yucky. When I do this, it feels beautiful. So what does that mean? That means my physical body and my awareness is in alignment with opening up. Open up. And the next time you find yourself thinking, well, this is horrible. Why? Why is it horrible? Is it horrible because you've been programmed that this is not okay? Because what if this is perfectly okay? What if paying a bill late is perfectly okay? And you're not going to immediately get something shut off or kicked out. What if you call and say, hey, you know what? Is it possible to extend this due date a few days till my next paycheck? What if they say yes? And then all your problems are over. Oh, wait, you wouldn't have anything to worry about and obsess anymore, right? Why do we do this to ourselves? It's all programming. It's all programming. I just want you to really think about this. Because when I realized this, that every single aspect of our lives, the media that we put in, we don't realize how many billboards, magazine ads, every single TV show I watched as a child had a mom and a dad and two kids, and one was a boy and one was a girl, and they only had one pet. Every single TV show. And anything different than that was a edgy, groundbreaking new series, because it didn't have a white mom, a white dad, a boy, a girl, and one pet. If you're raised in that programming, see, people think about, oh, brainwashing is some scientist locking you up and telling you what to believe under hypnosis. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you live in a society every TV show, every magazine ad, every commercial, every news program keeps you in certain parameters. And so the minute somebody goes outside the parameters, they're a freak. And now what I'm thinking of, watching myself do this. So now think about this. We have these parameters, and we have someone going to the left or going to the right. So now they're both outside the parameters, right? And now they're freaking out at each other because they can't handle it. Well, you're wrong. Well, no, you're wrong. Well, no, you're wrong. What if throw away the parameters, burn them down? Now we're all here together. It's so simple. Boy, still didn't really talk about body image. Oh well, guess that wasn't what's supposed to come out today. I'm going to watch this back. If it's any good, it'll be on the Joy Love Bus YouTube channel. It'll be on the Joy Love Bus Facebook group, wherever. The blog, thejoylovebus.com. That's what I got today. Oh, I keep forgetting. There's a fundraiser. I want a bus. I want a motorhome. Help me. If you believe in what I'm doing, if you like anything you see, if anything I offer makes you go, oh, that's kind of cool, consider donating. Generosity.com. Search the Joy Love Bus. You can't miss it. It's the first one that comes up. Generosity.com, the Joy Love Bus. There's a link in every YouTube video. Just throw me $5, all right? I'm never going to get an RV if I don't get some help. I got to get over this fear of asking for money, so there it is, all right? Thank you. I love you.